It's a good thing to ask as I hit the button.
The Animated Anarchy series presents The Animated Hour of Power.
What's up, everybody? I know we're a little late, but Dave had to get fit for a monkey suit. So we are here. This is Animated Hour of Power, episode 28, part of the Animated Anarchy series here on the When Tunes Combined channel. I am, of course, I'm your host, Dutchie, joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
A very under the weather Sean.
Hello.
And the wild card Dave is here. He made it in time after trying on suits.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah. All right. So we're entering stage 3. Stage 3 of the Animated Anarchy series. It starts tonight. And already we got a huge main event. Our main event tonight is going to be Dexter's Laboratory taking on Mighty Ducks, the animated series. Both shows are 2-0. Both shows have 60 points. So if there is a sweep, then somebody, then somebody could walk out of here tonight with a 3-0 record and 90 points. Although I think it's going to be tough. Also tonight we're going to see Jackie Chan Adventures take on Gravity Falls. Ninja Kamui takes on the Assassination Classroom, and also Schoolhouse Rock takes on the Bugs Bunny Show. So we got all that to look forward to. What is going to happen here is we're going to have the randomizer go. It's going to pick our 5 categories for us. Now, starting tonight, if there's a category that pops up on the randomizer that one of these guys does not like, they can suggest to change it. Now, in order for it to actually be changed, somebody else has to agree with it.
Yep.
So, for example, if we get Sean's favorite category merch, or least favorite category, he can say, get that out and let's put in, just
Animation time.
Well, that would be what Dave would say, but yeah. So
You know me so well.
Yeah. It's about doing a show with you for the last year. So it would be all right. Let's put in animation style. Either you or Dave would have to agree. Obviously, animation style is Dave's favorite category, so that would be obviously the bill would pass, and then so that's what we would deal with. Only gets to be used one time. Now, whoever uses it tonight, if somebody uses it tonight, they cannot use it until everybody has had a chance to use it once.
Yep.
Now, next week when we do, and that also that doesn't necessarily include me, even though technically I will be judging next week because we have judges' choice. So Eric will be hosting the live show. Dave will be hosting the pre-recorded show next week, not this week.
And I'll be live with Doug.
Yeah. So if he screws up, I will smack him. So that's how that is going to work. We'll go ahead. We'll share the screen here. All right. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, here we go. It's just going to be one click. All right. So this is what we have. It's cultural impact, merchandise, memorable moments, humor, animation style. I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask. And Sean, I'm going to ask you first because we just talked about this. Do you want to change anything?
No, actually.
Okay.
I'm good with it, honestly.
All right. Eric.
No, because we got animation style. I was gonna switch if we didn't get it. I was gonna switch merch for animation.
All right, Dave.
Oh boy, I'm gonna keep it the same. I'm gonna tally up to 3.
Yep, I'm gonna
Just
save
because
mine.
both these guys both said no, so I feel like if I did bring it up, they'd probably say no.
All right.
Are you surprised, Doug?
I'm actually very surprised. Reaper, Sean did not change out merchandise. I really thought he was gonna do that.
Yeah, I did
would've
too.
if it was a different lineup of shows.
Ooh, putting the shows in perspective. I like that.
Well, yeah, especially because it's going to help. I think there's 2 battles on here that I think merchandise is going to help.
The first one.
No. I'll leave that up to him.
Definitely doesn't help Schoolhouse Rock.
Nope.
Yeah, but it helps the opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's going to be cultural impact, merchandise, memorable moments, humor, animation. All right. So I like how nobody is wasting the power right away. Like we're saving it.
It's like Survivor, man. You get that, that power. You try to hold on to that thing as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Until you absolutely need to.
Speaking of Survivor 50 is on Wednesday. Cannot wait.
By the way, next week when I have the opportunity, if I have the opportunity to change one, I probably will, because my favorite category is theme song, and there's some shows coming up, or there's some battles coming up next week where I think theme song should be a category.
Yep, I agree with that.
I could see that, and plus, like, how many times do you get to really be the judge? So, like, you should take advantage of the times that.
Well,
you
yeah,
do. Yeah,
that's
basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But I do agree. A lot of next week's songs, like theme songs, like there's a lot of good ones. So I feel like that is good
Especially for my
competition.
battle.
Yeah, especially and like there's a lot of good anime theme songs too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, which days, by the way, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday when it's Judge's Choice, he does have a lot of anime battles, which, by the way, looking at them on paper, are going to be close. And I bet he is happy he does not have to be the judge.
Mine are all cartoons.
I'm happy that I don't have to judge it, because it would break my soul to judge some of those.
I know. That's why,
because some of them are so close that it's just like, it's really a toss-up on which one you prefer.
That's why, there are some times where, if I get told I have to fill in, I look at the battles and I'm like, son of a. I'm just like, okay, it's not going to be easy. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm glad I'm not going to be.
You do get subbed in on some hard battles, though.
Yeah. Well, and especially there's a couple of them, and we'll get to them when I promote it at the end of the show. For Eric's show next Saturday night, the live one, there's a couple of them where I'm just like, yes,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to start. It's Jackie Chan Adventures taking on Gravity Falls. Jackie Chan Adventures 0-2, but 5 points in the division of Danielle Davis. Gravity Falls 0-2, -5 points. Let me just double check that before, because I always sound so sure of this stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm actually right.
Hey, it's the confidence that makes it sound like you're right.
That is, well, I appreciate that. No, but I actually do want to make sure that I'm right. Yeah, 0-2, -5 points in the division of Dave's Uncle Joe. So, Jackie Chan versus Gravity Falls up first here. Cultural impact. Who had the bigger cultural impact? Dave, I'm going to start with you.
I went with Jackie Chan Adventures here, mostly because it has the representation of like Chinese folklore and like the martial arts, and it kind of mainstreamed it to the Western audience. I feel like Jackie Chan really promoted the Chinese culture, and when you hear Jackie Chan, it's up there with like people like Bruce Lee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like his name holds a huge impact. What the show was about, it was kind of like a very unique like style of Indiana Jones adventure, but with like martial arts and supernatural lore of the Chinese folklore. And I really thought they did a good job representing that and bringing that in. And I feel like because of that, it had more of an impact.
All right. Sean, go ahead.
I gave this one to Jackie Chan as well.
Okay. All right. Eric.
Yep, same thing. Jackie Chan. Everything that Dave said, I read too.
And by the way, when he got this show premiered in, I believe it was 2000, either 2000 or 2001. This was at the height of his popularity.
Yep.
Because
it came out after Rush Hour 1, right?
yes. And it lasted through Rush Hour 2.
Dang.
So it was very so he was at the height of his popularity. I believe he had another couple of movies that came out during the time when this show was still running. I believe one of them was the movie The Tuxedo.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. And then there might have been a couple more, but this was at the height of him being as popular as he was. So, all right, they are up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. We move on to merchandise. And Eric, I'm going to have you start.
Merchandise. I have Gravity Falls. From what I read, they just produced more high-end, high-value merch, but I think it was pretty close.
Okay. All right, Dave, why don't you go ahead?
I do think it is pretty close. But I went with Jackie Chan Adventures because what I was looking through like eBay and stuff like that, it was a lot more vintage items, more for collectors. Gravity Falls was a stronger performer in like merch sold, but I feel like if you're a collector, want that vintage memorabilia, I would go with Jackie Chan Adventures.
All right. Sean, you're on your deathbed and you still have to break a tie.
I gave this one to Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Just on sales alone.
Yeah, they did have more sales. I do agree on that.
All right. So we're tied 1-1, so we're not starting the show with a sweep. But we're going to move on to memorable moments. Who had more first day with my new tongue. Who had more memorable moments? Sean, you get to start.
I gave this one back to Jackie Chan. Just the lore of the show itself, I think, had better moments more than Gravity Falls, because Gravity Falls was more of like a comedic failure.
Yeah. All right. Eric, why don't you go?
I went with Gravity Falls too.
You know, he said Jackie Chan, right?
Oh, yeah, I went with Gravity Falls.
Okay. All right.
That's what he
So
said.
Dave gets to break a tie.
Ooh, baby. Well, yeah. I went with Sean here. I just thought Jackie Chan, with his adventures that he went on, the kung fu sequences, the characters like the uncle, I thought were pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Made kind of for some memorable moments. The martial arts that they got going on, I really enjoy that stuff. And like I said, the mythology. I really am into stuff like that, so that really captivates me a little more. So for that reason, I picked Jackie Chan.
All right. By the way, have I mentioned yet, like on camera? I'm pretty sure I've told you guys off camera, but have I said it on camera yet that as the stages go on, these battles get tougher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you say it quite a bit, just stuck in our heads. But
because
you can feel
I
it.
truly believe that.
You can feel it though. Like the first lineup, I feel like it was kind of see where like anime and cartoons kind of blend and see what could happen and whatnot.
Yeah.
To really get a footing to see what was what, and now it's definitely getting harder. I can feel it.
And then this is gonna and then this stage, and then stage 4, which is going to be the gauntlet stage, we'll talk more about in the coming weeks. The gauntlet stage is going to be important because of the points, the points that are going to be, out there. All right, but Jackie Chan is up 2-1. They can win it in the next category, which is humor. Which show was funnier? Dave, you get to start.
Ooh, this one was tough for me. I really think it could go either way here. But I gave this one, like, I really have it as a toss-up for me because I thought both did okay. But I'm going to go with Jackie Chan here. I just like Jackie. He's funny. And with the uncle, it's hilarious to me. And between the two of them, they're and the actions between the niece, I just thought it was really funny. It's kind of witty. It's, good little puns in there sometimes. So I went with Jackie Chan. That's nothing against Gravity Falls. I thought they did a decent job with some of their humor.
Yeah. Now I will say this in the first season finale, when the guy at the agency that Jackie works for kept trying to order that the guys to shoot the demon or whatever, or the monster. And Jackie's uncle's just like, no, you got to fight magic with magic. And then like after like the third time, the head agent's just like, no, we have to do this. And then the uncle just put him to sleep with a nerve hold. And it's just like, and he's just like, anybody else want to try me? And it's just like, as soon as that guy wakes up, he better throw your ass in jail. Like, dude, like you just took out a government agent. Yes, it was funny.
Yeah,
because he wouldn't listen, but still. All right, Eric, you're up.
Yeah, I went the opposite way. I thought Gravity Falls is more. I just like that one more. I just thought it had a little more humor.
Well, Sean, I have a feeling even though you're sick, you're going to be breaking more ties.
It's all good. I gave this to Jackie Chan. I really liked the uncle.
he's
And
hilarious.
I wasn't a fan of the type of humor Gravity Falls was using.
Okay.
I think like Jackie Chan just was a more natural humor compared to Gravity Falls being more of like a forced style.
No, I can see that. I definitely see that. All right. So, Jackie Chan Adventures is going to take this 3-1. So they're going to get 20 points out of this. Gravity Falls will lose no more points, but they're not going to get anything. So Jackie Chan Adventures gets 20 points out of the deal. We move on to the anime battle for the night, which is Assassination Classroom versus Ninja Kamui. Assassination Classroom 1-1, 30 points in the division of my sister Mindy Hummer. And Ninja Kamui 0-2, negative 20 points in the division of Baron Ziegler. So Ninja Kamui can end up, if they get swept here, they can end up in an even deeper hole than what they're already in. So, all right, let's go ahead. Let's start this off with cultural impact. Sean, just so there's no chance of you breaking a tie, you're starting.
This was a tight one in my perspective, but I gave it to Assassination Classroom.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Yeah, I have to agree with Sean. I just think the longevity that Assassination Classroom gives it more room for a larger impact. Ninja Kamui is it's newer, so it's still growing its fan base, and I just don't think it's on the scale of Assassination Classroom yet.
Fair enough. All right, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Assassination Classroom too. As Dave said, longevity and just it's more of a classic right now.
All right. So they are up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. Merchandise is the next category. Who had the better merchandise, Dave?
I'm gonna have to go with Assassination Classroom. They have 27 million copies of its manga in circulation, and it's also had the longevity, like I said. So it's had more time to have those merch sales, where Ninja Kamui is newer. So it still hasn't had that retail merchandise, that widespread retail merchandise yet. So I would have to go Assassination Classroom right now.
Okay. All right, Sean.
Yeah, I agree with Assassination Classroom.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Assassination Classroom too. From what I read, and because it's been out longer and there's more high end value.
All right. They're up 2-0. If they win the next category, they sweep. It's memorable moments. Eric, whose moments were more memorable?
I actually went with Ninja. I just found there was more memorable moments in that show, and because of the fighting scenes. So
Okay. All right. Sean, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Assassination Classroom.
All right. High drama. So, Dave, you get to decide whether or not this goes another round or if we get a sweep right now.
Well, Doug, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna go another round. I'm going with Ninja Kamui here. I just think it's high intense action scenes are huge. Yeah, I feel like it's the John Wick of like anime type deal.
Okay.
It's fast paced combat. It's visceral. I thought it was really good with its action sequences, and it's very high paced. So like you're constantly getting that action, which I enjoy. I think that's what made John Wick really good too, and I feel like they captured it in this anime, and so for that reason, I gave it to them.
All right. Well, something big happened here. Ninja Kamui actually won a category. It's taken them 8 categories 9 categories now to do so. When you strike out the first 8 times, you get it on the 9th. All right. So they're not going to get swept. So they're not going to lose any more points. But Assassination Classroom could still win it in this next category. It is humor. Which show was funnier, Sean?
Oof. I gave this Ninja Kamui. Kamui.
All right. Dave?
I actually went the other way. I just thought Ninja Kamui was really serious, gritty, like John Wick revenge style. So it didn't rely on too much humor. It was more like darker themes. I feel like Assassination Classroom, I feel like its tone left for like a balance for like, intense, emotional, and action oriented moments. And I thought the humor was, it had a variety of humor elements to it. It just depends if it was your humor or not, I would feel like, because I don't feel like it hit everybody. But I give this one to Assassination Classroom.
All right. Well, look who has the power now. Go ahead. You're breaking the tie.
Did Dave sway me this time?
I don't know. You're supposed to answer that.
No, I'm trying to get the drama. No, he didn't sway me this time. I stuck with Ninja.
All right. Well,
You guys like that dark humor, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we've already discussed on the show that Eric's a freak.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so now Ninja Kamui is they're taking the shovel out and they're starting to, unbury themselves a little bit because, points are, I mean, technically they're not getting any points. They're just digging themselves a little bit out of the hole. But we move on to animation style. Who had the better animation style, Eric?
I went with, this was the close one because I think both of them did an excellent job. But I went in Fascination Classroom here. I thought it was more detailed and more detailed oriented.
All right. John?
I actually went with Ninja Kamui. I like that style just a little bit more.
All right. All right, Dave, this is the ultimate decision.
Woo! Yeah, and you know what? This one was actually pretty tough. I thought they both had, decent animation quality. But I'm gonna give this one to Ninja Kamui here. I just think it's has higher tech. It has more advanced tech that it uses. I'm not too big of the CGI suits that they brought in, but besides that, I think its advanced style and animation is a little better with the fluid motion and the high fight sequences are very good. Their choreograph is spot on. So with that high motion, fluid motion, and good visuals, I'd have to give it to Ninja Kamui.
All right, they're going to win it. This is their first win, and now they move from negative 20 points to negative 10. So they're starting to dig themselves out of the hole. However, Assassination Classroom still gets 5 points out of the deal, but they also move to a 1-2 record, so they're a little bit behind the other two of the other shows in their division, which are the Real Ghostbusters and Hey Arnold, who are kind of neck and neck right now. Assassination Classroom had the opportunity to kind of get up there and compete with them. Did not work out, but still they get 5 points out of the deal. But Ninja Kamui, I'm kind of looking at this as a little bit of an upset just because of how bad Ninja Kamui's gotten beaten up in the last two stages.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah. So, but they got themselves a win. They're getting out of the hole that they're in a little bit. So we'll see what they can keep doing. All right. Next up, we have Schoolhouse Rock, 0-2, negative 10 points in the division of Ryan Barber, taking on the Bugs Bunny Show, 2-0, 40 points in the division of Rose Stranahan. So if Bugs Bunny Show gets a sweep here, then Magic School Bus is going to move into the negative 20 territory. But we're about to see what's going to happen. We start with cultural impact. Now, on paper, this might seem like a easy decision. But one thing you got to remember is, even though Schoolhouse Rock is not a traditional cartoon, they were very important bumpers for Saturday morning cartoons. And what that means is a lot of their stuff would air in between when shows would air on Saturday morning lineups. So, and their songs were pretty impactful.
Yeah, and catchy.
Yeah. Dave, you're going to start.
This one was tough for me because, Schoolhouse Rock did have that direct educational impact, which is huge. But I'm going to go the opposite way here. I'm going to go with the Bugs Bunny Show because I feel like it helped define the legacy of other shows like the Looney Tunes and whatnot, shaping a new animation style and character archetypes and whatnot. And they brought it on a more broader global scale, I feel like. And because of that, I went with the Bugs Bunny Show.
Yeah, and because also too, I mean, Looney Tunes. A lot of the Looney Tunes up until this point were just a lot of shorts that were played like before movies. They were movie theater shorts, and then they got moved into a Saturday morning atmosphere because of the Bugs Bunny show.
Yes.
So, all right, Sean, I'm going to go to you next.
I gave this one a Bugs Bunny.
All right. All right, Eric, go ahead.
I went with Bugs Bunny because yeah.
I mean, no matter what, and no matter which way you slice it, Bugs Bunny is still Bugs Bunny. There's a reason why several websites have named him the greatest cartoon character of all time.
Yep.
So, all right. Now we move on. Well, this could get ugly. Merchandise.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly.
Do we even have to ask?
Yes, because I'm contractually obligated.
Okay.
I mean, even though technically I'm the one that wrote the contract. Sean, you get to start.
Oof. Bugs Bunny.
Well, he tried to add dramatic effect.
That was a hard one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Even with 108 degree temperature, he can still figure out the Bugs Bunny had better merchandise. All right, Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Sean here. It's Bugs Bunny show all the way. I mean, they're huge. Bugs is huge. He's literally a powerhouse. He brought Looney Tunes to what it was. He made everything on a mass market scale. So yeah, he's just a global phenomenon.
All right, Eric.
Yep, Bugs Bunny. Not even close. Sorry, Schoolhouse.
All right, Bugs Bunny show is up 2-0. One more, and then they sweep. And the next category is memorable moments. Oh, Schoolhouse Rock got screwed. Dave, why don't you start?
This one's hard, but you know what? I'm going to give this one to Schoolhouse Rock. I just like their songs. I thought they were catchy, and they make you remember them. So I think it's a little more memorable. Bugs is kind of like, you get a different variety of, good humor and stuff, and, different rivalries and catchphrases and stuff in Bugs show. But I feel like the songs are more memorable to me.
All right. By the way, Dave, I heard you say no, they're not. That's why I called on you first. Yeah. So, all right, Eric, not only give your answer, but also do the thing you just texted me that you were going to do.
Okay. Bugs Bunny.
All right. So,
Yeah, I was going to ask you that before the main event, so
yeah.
we'll do that now.
So, all right. So what is flashing on the screen right now are the standings after stage 2. Now, these are the correct ones, right, Eric?
Yeah, this is the one I copied from the group.
Okay.
Our group. No,
all right.
group.
Yeah. Apparently, I got
the one I fucked up.
Yeah. Which
Whoa,
it's okay.
Language.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who knew I got the one guy that didn't know that -20 means you have to deduct 20 points. Adam. But,
I thought it was 20.
Yeah.
I guess my eyes were just old.
Anyway, Sean, I hate to do this to you in such a vegetative state, but you get to break another one.
We're on moments, correct?
Yes.
I want Schoolhouse Rock.
Ooh, I did not expect that. But hey, I told you, they ain't screwed yet.
It's just, the type of show, even though it wasn't technically like a show, it was like clips.
Yeah.
they had it. I think they had a real memorable impact of like with the songs and like the historic meanings behind it. So
It's fair enough. I mean, I have no problem with them winning this category. I thought they were also the songs kind of stuck in my head.
They're catchy.
So, all right, no sweep happening. So just like Ninja Kamui was able to, keep themselves from getting swept, Schoolhouse Rock did the same thing. I don't know if Schoolhouse Rock can come back and win it. We're going to find out. The next category is humor. Sean, you're up.
I gave this one to Bugs Bunny. It was kind of one-sided.
Yeah. All right, Dave?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Sean here. It definitely had more gags and slapstick humor events, I feel like, in it. Schoolhouse Rock, it was more sophisticated. It didn't really have like humor. There was a little bit of like, a little bit of humor in some of the educational songs, but it wasn't enough to make you laugh type deal. So I would definitely have to give this to Bugs.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Bugs. I just found out more humor. Obviously, it's Bugs Bunny, so
Yeah.
anything Bugs Bunny does is funny.
All right, the Bugs Bunny show is going to win this 3-1. Schoolhouse Rock does not lose any more points, but they're not going to get anything. They're going to fall to 0-3. Bugs Bunny goes to 3-0, and they get 20 more points out of the deal. So, all right, this one is kind of big. Main event time. It's Dexter's Laboratory versus Mighty Ducks the Animated Series, and it's big because they're both 2-0. They both have 60 points. They have both swept, their previous two opponents. Dexter's Laboratory in the division of Mike Bianco. Mighty Ducks the Animated Series in the division of Will Sharkey. By the way, I said it last week that the way, the playoffs are going to work, seeding is going to be very important because the final match of the series is going to be a triple threat match. For anybody that knows what that is, it's a wrestling term. And it's going to be 3 cartoons facing off. Whoever ends up as the 1 seed goes straight to the final. They don't have to go through the playoffs.
Yeah. What if there's a tie?
Then there will be a tie break. If there is a tie, there will be a tie breaking matchup to see who the 1 seed is.
Okay.
So, this match, both of these shows right now, for the moment, are on the track to be the 1 seed. So, all right, we are going to start off with cultural impact, and Dave, I'm starting with you.
Okay, yeah, for cultural impact, I went with Dexter's Laboratory. I feel like it kickstarted Cartoon Network's rise as like a powerhouse. It influenced generation of creators. It had its unique visual style and approach, I feel like, which definitely had an impact on the creators. I feel like it fundamentally changed, America's cartoons. With bringing Cartoon Network to the rise as a powerhouse channel. So when you can do that, I feel like you deserve this category.
All right. I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, they were the first cartoon I started watching, the first Cartoon Network original cartoon that I started watching on the network. All right. Sean, let's go to you.
I also gave this to Dexter's Laboratory. I feel like it had such a great impact because of how relatable it was and how relatable it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I think it blended it well with like being relatable to younger brothers with older sisters and like that type of family orientation.
Right.
Compared to the unrealistic of a kid that young being a genius.
Right. All right, Eric.
I went with Dex.
Okay. All right, they're up 1-0, 2 more, and then they sweep. We move on to merchandise. And Sean, you're gonna go first.
I gave this to Mighty Ducks. Everything I saw, they had a bigger merch.
And by the way, their action figures can be pretty valuable, especially the play sets.
Yeah,
I know
for
because
sure.
I've been trying to, get my hands on one of those for a while, and I don't feel like paying $150. All right, Eric, go ahead.
I went the opposite. From what I read, it led me to do Dexter, but it was close. It was good. I had a hard time picking which one. So.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with the Mighty Ducks here. I just saw they were a merchandising powerhouse. They also had like the NHL to help with that. At one point, they were accounting for like 80% of the NHL's 1 billion in licensing revenue at one point. So when you can do that, you're a super powerhouse. You're making a lot of sales. And I feel like a lot of people like that type of merch that they had. They had figures, they had clothing like jerseys and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they were on a massive scale, I feel like, compared to Dexter's Laboratory.
All right, 1-1. Nobody's getting swept, so nobody's going to hit the 90 points. Why'd you raise your hand? I haven't gone to the next category yet.
No, I was gonna say, didn't Mighty Ducks win merchandise their last matchup? I remember.
They probably did. I mean, I have to flip back about 10 or 20 pages, but I'm pretty sure they did, because they do have again, their action figures are very valuable. All right. Yeah. We're gonna move on to memorable moments. Whose moments were more memorable, Eric?
This was close, but I went with Dexter. I thought there was more memorable moments in story there. So.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I went with Dexter's Lab here.
All right. And Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with Dexter's Laboratory. The moments where like he's trying to learn French, via sleep hypnosis, but can only repeat the one phrase. His constant Sybil rivalry, I thought, was pretty memorable. So I thought it was different each episode, but you still had some of those consistent factors that were memorable as well. And for that reason, I went with them.
All right. They're up 2-1. They can get the win in this next category, which is humor. Which show was funnier, Dave?
Ooh, this was a little tough for me. I thought they both had decent humor. But I went with Dexter's Laboratory. I thought it was a little more fast-paced, some physical comedy, some wittiness to it. There was some reoccurring gags too, but they're kind of funny. And the rivalry between the sister, I thought, was pretty hilarious at times too. So I would have to give it to Dexter.
All right, Sean?
I gave this to Dexter's Laboratory. That show was hilarious in my eyes.
All right, Eric.
I went the opposite, but it doesn't matter. I went Mighty Ducks. I thought that was more hilarious to me.
Okay. All right, Dexter's Laboratory is going to win it 3-1. So they're going to get 20 points. Mighty Ducks now gets a loss tagged onto them.
All the matchups were 3-1.
Yeah.
Just like last week, all the matchups were sweeps.
Yeah. Well, no, Ninja Kamui and Assassination Classroom went 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So Dexter's Laboratory is going to get 20 points out of this. So neither show is Dexter's Laboratory is still 3-0, but they did not hit. They're not in the perfection mark anymore because they only got 20 and not 30. However, they still have 80 points. So all right. coming up Wednesday for Animated Showdown. Stage 3 will continue. Of course, on Animated Showdown, we are going to see Inspector Gadget take on the Flintstone Kids. Flintstone Kids are in danger of heading to -30 if they get swept. Here's one I know you guys are going to love. She-Ra, Princess of Power, is going to take on Gem and the Holograms. Somebody just puke.
Eric.
Kind of.
All right. Yu Yu Hakusho is going to take on Invincible. Steven Universe is going to take on Adventure Time. And the main event is going to be Voltron taking on the Transformers.
That's gonna be
Next
interesting.
Saturday, we're going to be on the air. It's going to be a special time. It's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern time is when we're going to start the show because Elimination Chamber is on next Saturday night. And Eric and I would like to, make out a little bit before it comes on. But all right. But the judge's choice. So Eric's the one that gets to choose. So that means Eric is hosting the show. And here's what he picked for the matches. SpongeBob SquarePants takes on Alf the Animated Series, 2 of his all-time favorites. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is going to take on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. This one I'm personally looking forward to. It's going to be King of the Hill taking on Rugrats.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. Pokemon is going to take on Rocket Power. I feel like that this is just a kick to Sean's crotch.
That's dirty, Eric.
I did that on purpose. Mine versus
We
his.
know. We know.
Watch him beat Pokemon too.
Yeah.
You'd be salty,
Yeah,
Eric.
because I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Doug is going to take on Hey Arnold, and the main event is going to be X-Men the Animated Series taking on Captain Planet and the Planeteers. So that is next Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern time start. That is the judge's choice. So Eric will be hosting the show. Make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Also, like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast YouTube channel. This Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, we will be talking TNA Lockdown 2009. You'll also like and subscribe to Eric's Unscripted Sports Show, the Stabcast with Daniel and Mindy, the Dizzle 97 YouTube channel and Twitch. You can find Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCAX Godsent 95. You're going to find Sean at TCAX Reaper on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. And then we will see everybody Wednesday for Animated Showdown.
Peace.